I've talked to you about how some of the arguments made in the media, in the court of public opinion by Trump and his lawyers, aren't good legal arguments, and they will be thrown out in court if they try to make them. This is already happening, and this is so damn funny. Prosecutor Letitia James from New York is now demanding that Trump and his sons and his lawyers, their lawyers, be fined $10,000 each for repeatedly making losing arguments in her fraud case. Now, I want to remind you, this is not there are multiple cases going on. This is just one of them. And one of the things that is going on is that in court, Trump's lawyers, on the behalf of Trump and his sons, are making bogus arguments. These are non-legal arguments. This is the $250 million business fraud lawsuit. This is not the criminal trial. I know at this point it's hard to keep these straight. Over the last year, Letitia James is saying, most recently last week, lawyers for Trump have raised bogus arguments in fighting the case. This case is scheduled to start on October 2nd. One of the arguments that Trump's lawyers are making in court is this entire thing is a politically motivated witch hunt. As I told you before, that is not an argument that is going to fly if they try to make it in court. Another argument that Trump's lawyers have been making on their behalf is that Letitia James has no legal standing or capacity to sue him because his business frauds didn't actually harm the public, arguing that the entire thing is frivolous. And again, Letitia James is saying that is a bogus legal argument and is demanding that Trump and his sons be fined. Another argument that Trump made in public is, listen, we put this relates to Trump's valuing assets dramatically differently, depending on whether he's trying to collateralize a loan or reduce his property tax liability. When it's for property taxes, Trump would say, oh, this building's not worth very much at all. You should lower our property taxes. When it's, hey, I want a loan, here's a beautiful building for collateral, Trump would say the building is worth way more. This is one of the issues with this fraud case. The other aspect to this is that Trump says, hey, we had a little disclaimer on all of these valuations that said the banks should really do their own due diligence and not rely on what we're telling them, which is not a legal defense to the allegations that are being made in the lawsuit. So this is a theme. And what I love about this is that something that a number of legal experts predicted was that if Donald Trump tries to go to court, particularly in the criminal trials, with some of the arguments that he's been making in the media, courts are not going to look at this kindly. And I'll give you some other examples. When it comes to the classified documents case, Trump in the media and some of Trump's defenders in the media have said, this isn't even a criminal issue. This is all governed by the Presidential Records Act. That is not a valid legal argument. And in fact, the Presidential Records Act stops governing Trump's actions and his ability to hold, declassify, or whatever documents once he is no longer president. And much of what Trump is charged with in that classified documents case are actions he allegedly undertook after he was president. If you go to court and they say, here are the criminal charges against you, do you have a defense? And you go, this is all governed by the Presidential Records Act. It is not a valid defense. It will not work. Another example that has been used in media that is not going to work as a legal argument is, listen, I won the election, they stole it, and now they're prosecuting me because I believed I won the election and I said so. And of course, if you go to court and they say, mount your defense, sir, and you go, well, they stole it, and now they're going after me because of what I said, and that's my First Amendment right. Judges and prosecutors would say, that's not in the indictment. Because you aren't being charged for what you said, you're being charged for what you did, saying you're prosecuting me for my opinion is not a valid legal argument. This is very reassuring that we are immediately seeing attempts to go after Trump and his lawyers for making bogus legal arguments in this lawsuit, because it suggests that indeed, if he tries it in his criminal trials, it is going to get, you could say, laughed out of court. But it's probably not going to come with a smile behind it. It's probably going to come with sanctions of some kind. This is great news and very reassuring. And by the way, we are less than a month away from the start of that fraud lawsuit against Trump's business. Going to be super interesting. and that is totally separate from the 4 criminal trials. Incredible 6 months coming up, that's for sure.